A discovery in the search for a possible mass grave from the Tulsa race massacre. We're breaking down the next steps moving forward today. Concerns about early voting in Tulsa, what some say needs to be more clearly communicated. A Tulsa family is dealing with tragedy after the shooting death of a loved one. Why they say what happened next hurts even more.
Covering news that matters. Fox 23 News This Morning starts right now.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Lynn. It's 4:30 on your Wednesday. A breakthrough in the search for victims of the Tulsa race massacre. We're live with what archaeologists found and what happens next. But first, warmer temperatures out there on your hump day. Meteorologist Megan McClellan's in the Fox 23 Severe Weather Center tracking some rain showing up on radar as well.
Yeah, we have a little bit of rain in our Kansas counties right now, but I'm going to be watching for the potential to see some more showers across northern portions of the area as we go through the morning. Coming up in 10 minutes, I'm breaking down more about what I'm expecting with the rain this morning and the sunshine for this afternoon.
Sunshine sounds nice. It's been so gloomy. In a developing story, a major discovery in the search for mass graves from the 1921 Tulsa race massacre. Archaeologists uncovered human remains during the second day of their dig. Fox 23's Naomi Kitt is live at Oak Lawn Cemetery with the next steps in the search.
Michelle, this was a big discovery yesterday during the second day of this search. A forensics team will now decide and determine.
Now at 4:33 in our You Decide 2020 coverage, early voting is just 8 days away here in Oklahoma, and some are worried you might not know where to go this year. Fox 23's Scott Martin is live at One Oak Field explaining the change in locations this year.
Yeah, Michelle, those 8 days sneaking up on us pretty quickly. Early voting moved from the election board to right here at One Oak Field. I'm Scott Martin, Fox 23 News.
Now to our continuing coverage of the coronavirus in Oklahoma. The Oklahoma Department of Health reported the second highest one-day increase in cases yesterday since the start of the pandemic, with 1,475. The state's running total now tops 109,500. We are on pace in October to see more new COVID-19 cases in Oklahoma than any other month, with a projection of 34,000 new cases in October. There are 18 newly reported COVID-19 deaths. Oklahoma's death toll is up to 1,191. Active cases hit a new high, topping 14,600 patients. Now to the growing concerns about the ability of hospitals to handle the COVID-19 caseload. Governor Kevin Stitt was among those Tuesday announcing the state's surge plan. It includes 4 tiers of hospital readiness, depending on the seriousness of COVID-19 patients and how many hospital beds are needed. The president of Mercy Hospital in Oklahoma City said this response involves the state, hospitals, and other healthcare providers.
The hospitals around the state have collaborated as a team and created a new plan to more effectively and uniformly care for COVID patients in the state of Oklahoma. This new plan involves constant communication between facilities to clearly understand each other's capacity on a daily and sometimes even an hourly basis.
Oklahoma is currently at the Tier 1 level, which means COVID-related hospital admissions are not over 15%. Amid the surging number of infections, however, the state says it is prepared to expand care to other health facilities and increase staff numbers through the Medical Reserve Corps. You can now schedule COVID-19 testing with the Tulsa Health Department online. Simply go to the web address on your screen now. It is tulsa/health.org/COVID-19. It's an effort to streamline the process of assessment, testing, and receiving results. The new site's also designed to improve the process of contact tracing. This morning, we're hearing from TPS Superintendent Dr. Deborah Gist about the decision to allow middle, junior, and high school students to return to classrooms after winter break. The original recommendation was to allow students to return by late November. Dr. Gist says pushing the return date back to January for older students means it won't interfere with current teaching plans, giving the district more time to prepare a safe environment.
Younger students, there's not evidence that those students are the are those who are spreading the virus, but that older students, from a virus perspective, it's very similar to another adult.
TPS also plans to utilize its 20,000 COVID-19 rapid tests once students return to the classroom. At 4:37, Oklahoma Congressman Republican Kevin Hern introduced legislation to name a local post office after a fallen Air National Guardsman. We told you in March when 28-year-old Sergeant Marshall Roberts of Owasso died in a rocket attack in Baghdad. We showed you as people lined the streets as his body returned home. Congressman Hern wants to rename the Owasso Post Office in Sergeant Roberts' memory. Retired OU President David Bourne and former OU Vice President Trip Hall will not face indictments following allegations of sexual misconduct. We told you they were accused of kissing and touching former and current students. They denied wrongdoing. The special counsel overseeing the investigation announced he decided, quote, after considering all relevant facts and circumstances, to not seek a grand jury criminal indictment. This morning, Tulsa police are investigating someone spray painted the letters BLM downtown at the center of the universe. The city thinks the vandalism happened late last week. The founder of the activist group Peaceful Rally Tulsa says whoever spray painted the letters is not helping the cause.
What you're saying is you're putting Black Lives Matter on different areas, thinking you're doing something good for the Black community when all you're doing is stirring trouble. And that's my opinion. That's how I feel. But it's also coming from a Black woman. We're not there to damage property. We're wanting to get equal justice.
Tuesday, city crews power washed the letters away. Happening today, watch for narrow lanes in East Tulsa. The city plans to work on a 48-inch water line on 41st near 129th East Avenue. That work's going to last through next Friday, the 30th. The city says your water service should not be affected. Warmer temperatures out there to start your Wednesday, and hopefully we'll see the sun again. It's been kind of gloomy. Meteorologist Megan McClellan is in the Fox 23 Severe Weather Center tracking who's seeing a little rain to start their Wednesday.
There's some very isolated showers in Chautauqua and Montgomery County afternoon. Coming up in 10 minutes, I'm breaking down more about the warm-up that we'll see today with even warmer temperatures tomorrow.
The time now 4:41. A new program is helping students learn about some high-paying jobs available right here in Green Country, the career path that might interest your student.
It's been so great this year when we've had all the trouble with the pandemic to be able to find new ways to utilize One Oak Field.
Bringing a little Dodgers magic to Tulsa, how One Oak Field gave Tulsans the chance to see some former drillers in the World Series. A Tulsa family lost a loved one in a shooting. How they're dealing with another big setback. 4:44, new details as a family now says their loss has continued well after the death of their loved one. We told you last week Lionel Lee Rivers was shot and killed in a robbery at his home in North Tulsa. Fox 23's Amanda Harry's live outside the Gilcrease Police Division explaining the crimes did not stop there.
Yeah, his family says that after he died, the robbers continued to come back and take things from his Tulsa. Covering news that matters, Amanda Harry, Fox 23 News.
Dietitians with OSU Family Medicine are encouraging parents to be mindful of their kids' weight. Earlier this year, I told you Oklahoma's ranked 8th highest in youth obesity in the country. More than a third of Oklahoma's 10 to 17-year-olds are overweight or obese, according to data from the state health department. Dietitians say sedentary lifestyles, lack of proper sleep, and poor nutrition lead to chronic health issues. But they say kids don't have to go cold turkey when it comes to Halloween candy and other treats.
Not necessarily just completely not allowing those foods in the home, but putting them in their rightful place as a treat, and just limiting the portions on that.
The American Academy of Pediatrics says childhood obesity is linked to asthma, bone and joint problems, liver and heart disease, and type 2 diabetes.
An outfield, and he pulls one into right center. Back at the track at the wall.
How fun. 13 out of 28 Los Angeles Dodgers have played for the Tulsa Drillers, and One Oak Field staff honored them last night. They hosted a free World Series watch party at the ballpark.
We've got so many diehard fans that support the Drillers year in, year out. And to lose the season, not be able to see the Drillers play for 70 games, this is kind of like the next best thing.
Around 200 people showed up. You can see guests were seated every other row. Masks were required unless they were seated. Just before the game started, the league recognized medical workers on the front lines of the pandemic, including a Tulsa couple.
Jamie Edens and Ryan Ward, a married couple from Tulsa, Oklahoma, both nurses who packed up their belongings and drove to New York City in April, where they worked tireless hours during those early days of the virus. And then in July, packed up, drove to Texas to do it again. All right, Jamie, let's...
So cool. Congratulations to Jamie and Ryan, among 4 healthcare workers at center field for first pitch ceremonies. Well-deserved honor. Exciting news. And in case you didn't stay up for the game, the Dodgers won. Meteorologist Megan McClellan's in the Fox 23 Severe Weather Center tracking some rain up in Kansas. Will we ever see the sun again? It's been so gloomy.
It really has. But the good news is that we will see sun this afternoon. Coming up in the next half hour, I'm breaking down another look at what I'm seeing on Fox 23 Doppler radar and what you can expect as you're headed out the door.
The time now 4:50.
Help us look at overall trends and know if there's a specific type of activity that is causing the spread more frequently.
What Tulsa's mayor wants you to better understand about contact tracing. Take a look at this beauty. We're in Tulsa this weekend. You can see a piece of World War II history.
Our real concern is trying to reach those families who will need us at that time.
The Salvation Army is extending its registration deadline to be placed on the Angel Tree, which areas they are not seeing a lot of applications from. 4:53, Broken Arrow students may be considering careers in manufacturing. Tuesday, 9th graders heard from local manufacturers about which jobs are available and how those jobs help the local economy. The Broken Arrow Chamber of Commerce tells us there are about 7,000 manufacturing jobs in Broken Arrow with an average salary of $60,000 a year.
What we want to do is kind of plant the seed, what manufacturing is all about and how students can learn more about it.
Students also got the chance to build a product out of toothpicks and gumdrops that they could then market to the class. Looks fun. The Salvation Army is extending its registration for the 2020 Angel Tree program. Each year, as you know, the Salvation Army offers Christmas assistance to families through the Angel Tree. They're extending registration for families in need, in part because of a lack of applications from Broken Arrow and Sapulpa.
We really want to encourage them and affirm that this is an online. They're not taking any risk to their health in order to seek assistance. So our real concern is trying to reach those families who will need us at that time.
If you need help this Christmas, you can apply at salarmytulsa.org. Happening today, seniors from Union High School will sign the beam that will top off their new stadium. We showed you this demolition of the 43-year-old Tuttle Stadium back in January. The area around Union has quickly grown, which is why school leaders say a bigger stadium was needed. Tuttle Stadium opened back in 1976. After the final beam is placed on the new stadium, it will be visible with flags flown from both ends for the football game Friday night on senior night when Union takes on Norman North. The time now 4:55. A big discovery in the search for mass graves from the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. The next steps now after human remains were found. A change in venue where you now need to go to cast your vote early next week, and why some say it wasn't talked about enough.
And taking a live look at Fox 23 Doppler radar, I'm tracking some rain in Kansas, along with some showers in our Kansas counties. What we can expect as you're headed out the door coming up in 3 minutes.